Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. Today we are joined by two very good friends of ours, very good friends of the channel. We have Ken and Michelle, Married with Media. How you guys doing today?
We are doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great. Thank you all for thinking of us and having us on here to rank our favorite love stories.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In horror.
We would not have it any other way.
No, I'm excited.
We're so glad to have you guys here.
I got to be honest. I'm here switching up my order as the show's starting. It's like I can't decide. I take these lists so seriously.
I know. I get
so
it.
So do we, man. So a couple announcements we want to make. Actually, before we do that, you guys want to tell everybody a little bit about what your channel and what you guys do over there?
Yeah. So, like you said, we're Married with Media. And we've been doing this for what? Almost a year? Kind of getting there.
Yeah, going on a year.
Getting
It
close.
was April. I think it was April.
We pretty much talk all things TV and movies. We do a lot of TV stuff. And I don't know, we're just a couple who like to talk about TV and movies, and we just we do some reviews. We do some live streams.
Yep. We, found ourselves talking about this stuff so much when we're done watching it. I'm like, and I already was doing my channel, and she has no interest in physical media, Blu-rays and 4K. So she doesn't care to talk about that. I'm like, well, let's start a channel talking about like TV shows and movies and stuff. We can do reviews like that.
Yep.
And who better to have a channel with than your best friend?
Right. Yeah.
Yep. I had to talk her into it for, I'd say, a good year or two. Like I wanted to do like a podcast. I know,
but once I was like on board, I came up with the channel name.
Yep, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
And I kind of took it from there. So
yep, she runs everything on that side.
That's so cool. That's like I'm saying, we have an episode coming up. If you didn't see that coming on Scream, she writes the episodes. I just talk with her. That's all I do is stand there and talk. So for those of you that haven't checked them out yet, I have their links right down here in the description. So not only do I have Married with Media, but if you haven't seen Ken's channel yet, Mid-Level Media, I have both those links down here in the description. So make sure you're clicking them.
I'm not allowed to promote myself when I'm with her. She won't let me do it. No, I'm just joking.
All right. I'll take that $20. I'll take that $20 later. So make sure you guys are subscribing to their channels. Give them a follow. They're amazing people. That's why we'd love to have them here. If this is your first time here at Sledgehammer Horror, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you a part of this. As they said, today we are going to be counting down our top 10 favorite horror movie love stories. So I don't know Ashley's list. She doesn't know mine, and we don't know Married with Media's, but we do have honorable mentions. Before that, I want to say hello to everybody that's in the chat. We got Nathan.
Hey, Nathan.
What's up, buddy? I love movies. That's Lewis. How you doing, buddy? Basement Blues. Thank you. Mika, thank you for coming up. Hey, Mel from My Killer Podcast. Caveman Movies, how you doing? Shaim's here. Hey, what's up, Shaim? Everybody saying hello to everybody. That's awesome. Daniel, how you doing, buddy? So as always, guys, we will give our list, and then in between numbers, we will catch up on the comments a little bit. As always, you never have to donate to the channel for us to answer your questions. Any donation is appreciated, but we don't expect it ever. And then Sean just popped in. Hey, what's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. So without further ado, I will start with my honorable mention. So my honorable mention is probably the newest movie on this list, and it is the Shudder original After Midnight. The story of Hank and Abby. Abby has left Hank. He's at home, and there's a monster coming in at night, and we don't know really what's going on. All we know is that Hank's love for Abby is extremely real and extremely strong, and this is the story of him trying to win Abby back, no matter what her family or her friends may be saying about what she's doing or where she's at, just how much he loves and misses her so much that he would karaoke to Stay by Lisa Loeb to her in the living room. So if you haven't checked out After Midnight, it is on Shudder. It's an amazing movie. I love After Midnight. Ashley, not so much.
It's not that I don't. Okay, I don't love it. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I was a huge fan, but so my honorable mention would be After Midnight. Hank.
It sounds like one of those movies I'd pick up at the Dollar Tree.
Dude, it's so good, man. Like,
is that the one with the chick from Texas Chainsaw 2 in it?
Nope. This has.
Is that a different one? I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm probably thinking of something else.
What's her name? I can't think of her name right now. It's gonna drive me nuts because she's amazing.
Is this like brand new? Did this just come out?
Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple years ago.
Brie Larson.
Oh, okay.
Brie Larson. Yeah.
Brie Larson?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or no, Brie Grant. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Like
I was like,
Jeremy
that's the same time she did Captain Marvel. I was like, that's
Yeah, no, I was thinking Brie Larson, but no, it's Brie Grant and Jeremy Gardner, and they're amazing in the roles of Hank and Abby. So I can't recommend this enough. So, and it's even labeled as a horror romance, which is awesome. I didn't know that. So, yeah, you want to give your honorable mention, my love?
Yeah. So one of these, you're probably gonna cancel me because it's an honorable mention. But my first one is Shaun of the Dead. I think it's a love story because Shaun, he doesn't do anything until like the zombie apocalypse takes over, and then like he wants to fight for his girlfriend, and you can tell that he's completely like mad about her. He just kind of like doesn't do anything in life until he has to fight for her type,
Mm-hmm.
And then another one is Vacancy. Do you remember that movie, Vacancy?
Oh yeah.
It's with Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson at the motel?
Yeah.
Kate
Okay.
Kate Beckinsale. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I think they're like going to get a divorce because they like lost their son or something.
Right.
But then they get trapped in that hotel because their car breaks down.
Yeah, and don't they find tapes?
They find tapes, yeah, of like other couples being murdered in that hotel, and then they get attacked, and then they like fight together, and their like love comes out when they have to fight for each other, even though does he die? I don't remember. I think he dies at the end. But
somebody always dies at the end.
Yeah, but their love is strong. You can tell that they love each other, and it's a super strong love. But they had like miscommunication, and kind of broke down after their son passed away.
That's the thing, and that's another reason why we wanted to have a couple on here, is because once we got married, we knew the best case scenario now is one of us is going to die,
and it's going to be you or me.
No, yeah, it's definitely gonna be me. But that's the best case scenario. We get to watch each other die. So,
yeah.
Michelle, would you like to get? Did you have an honorable mention, Michelle?
Yeah. So,
Are you gonna say what I think you're gonna say?
I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
It's gonna break y'all's heart.
So, well, this one wasn't on my list just because I thought that it would more than likely be on someone else's. So that's why it's my honorable mention. But mine's Bride of Chucky.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. I mean, come on, how much more of a love story do you want than turning into a doll? Like you love someone so much that you turn into a doll. So, I don't think Chucky needs much explanation as far as, what it's about or whatever, but we're pretty big Chucky fans. Ken told me that you all are too. So
yeah, I love Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, Bride of Chucky is one of her favorites in the franchise. Yeah. So that's awesome.
What about you? You like that movie?
It's okay. I love the first three Child's Plays. I love them. Bride of Chucky represents the dawn of a new era of Chucky that I wasn't completely on board for.
Yeah.
But the movie itself is good. I just didn't like the direction it took after.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
What about your honorable mentions, Ken?
I got a couple. I know some people this might be in their top 10, but The Fly, Seth Brundle and Veronica, Gina Davis. I mean, I love The Fly. I think it's a great horror movie. Their romance in the movie, I don't know, something about Gina Davis in that movie. I don't love her in it. And again, I love Gina Davis in a lot of things like A League of Their Own and Beetlejuice and some other movies she was in. But I don't know. There's just something about it that felt a little bit off to me. But it's iconic enough to be in my honorable mentions. And then I got Friday the 13th Part 2. Jenny and Paul. I like this strictly because the guy rarely makes it to the end of the slasher movie, and he made it to the end of this one, and they both get to take part in like I would say like a top 5 jump scare in like horror movie history with Jason coming through the window at the end. So I'll say Jenny and Paul, Friday the 13th Part 2. That's another honorable mention.
Awesome. So before we get into the top 10, we'll catch up on the chat real quick. Mel says, "Oh my God, I love After Midnight. The end is awesome. The end is so."
That's my favorite part. If they cut everything out in just that last 5 minutes.
If it was just a 5-minute short, I'd love it. My honorable mention is The Conjuring, Ed and Lorraine. Wow, very low, Nathan.
It really is.
But I love you still. Mika, I haven't seen that one. Mika, I can't recommend After Midnight enough. I think it's so good. I need to try Shudder, even if it's the trial. this is something else I want to say. Please, if you haven't had Shudder yet, it's $4.99 a month.
Right.
And they have the best original films. They have all our favorite old films. They have the Creepshow TV show. I can't recommend Shudder enough if you guys don't have it yet.
They have some really creepy.
I'm
ones
honestly
on
surprised
there.
that you haven't signed up for it.
I've had it at certain points. I remember I got it to watch that documentary. Was it In Search of Darkness?
Uh-huh.
The first one, and I haven't got it back to watch the second one. But I buy a lot of the Shudder originals when they come to Blu-ray because I think RLJE puts out a lot of them. So I usually buy a lot of those when they come out.
There's one that's coming out next Friday, The Long Night. It'll be on Shudder next Friday. It has Scout Taylor Compton in it. A movie you should all check out. It's very good. I can strongly recommend that one. Hey, Cal says, Ken, you made it. Shelly, hey. So Cal says,
Hey, Cal.
you guys.
Hello.
Ken and Ash, a pleasure. Pleasure's all ours. Vacancy is a good one. A Quiet Place is one of mine.
Yeah.
Very nice. Shaim says 10, Candyman, 9, After Midnight, 8, Vacancy, 7, Fatal Attraction.
Okay.
Very nice.
I didn't think of Fatal Attraction. That's
I
a
didn't
good. That's
either.
not a bad one, but I mean, I guess it just comes down to do you consider it horror or not?
Right. So, okay, we'll answer this question real quick. Would you guys pick Hereditary or Parasite? You want to start that off, babe?
I would probably pick Hereditary for sure.
Are you saying which is better?
No. Well, I mean, better
Are you
maybe
talking about-
love story.
Is it a
I
better
don't know if
love
it's
love
about
story?
love story.
Okay.
Okay.
And it can be a
Answer
love
this,
story.
Daniel.
Hereditary is not a love story.
We'll come back to this, Daniel. Do you mean which one do we like better, or what is the better love story?
If
So
we're
we'll come back
if
to
you're
that
asking
one.
what's the better movie,
Hereditary.
it's really hard for me. As much as I love Hereditary, it's hard for me not to say Parasite. Parasite's a very well constructed film. I think it's like a masterpiece. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stir of Echoes is my honorable mention. We love you too. Pride of Chucky.
Yeah.
Everybody saying hey to each other. I love it. Only Lovers Left Alive. Very nice. Chucky show is hot. Very, very hot. Fly was spot on. Girl Walks Home Alone at Night is another good horror. I haven't got to see that
I
yet.
haven't seen that one either. I've heard good
I
things
really
about it.
need to see it. Hey Maya, what's up, buddy? Shudder is awesome. Great docuseries as well. Absolutely. Which is better? I'm going Hereditary. I'm going to go the opposite here. I think Parasite's phenomenal, but there's just something about. I think it's we've seen Hereditary in the theater and the surprise that came with it. So
It's such a tough choice. I love both of the
Yeah,
movies.
it is.
It's
a
like
very hard
very
choice,
close.
The shock value
of Hereditary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go with Hereditary. I just think it's one of my favorite films of the decade, so I got to go with that one.
Yeah.
Dark Man would be in my top 3. Another good choice I didn't think of. So baby, you want to start us off with your number 10?
Yes. So number 10 for me is Zombieland.
Oh, I didn't even think about Zombieland. No.
Yeah.
Columbus.
Columbus and
Oh.
Wichita. Like, she really doesn't give him the time of day at first, but then like grows to love him. That's kind of like you and I.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's why I didn't think of it.
That's
But,
Emma
and
Stone's
I
character,
deserve-
right?
What's
Emma
that?
Stone and
Emma
Jesse
Stone's
Eisenberg.
character.
Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah. I think they're a cute couple,
Mhm.
and they're killing zombies together. Like
Yeah.
and you can tell that
Living the dream.
yeah, and they get to meet Bill Murray and kill him,
Yeah,
and
sons of bitches.
yeah. So
Awesome. Michelle, you want to start us off with your number 10?
Okay, so I am going to try to do this good, but I don't know why you keep looking at my list and I don't appreciate it. But for some reason, when I made my list, I didn't put them in like order.
Oh my! Didn't you not know this is a top 10?
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
I'm like
God.
killing myself. So, but I think I can do it. I think I can do it on the spot. Okay, so just bear with me. And I also didn't know how much like detail that you all wanted us to give, like as far as the names.
You are failing right now.
I know, I'm sorry. But I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to say my number 10 is A Ghost Story.
okay.
Have you all seen that? I
have
didn't think
not.
so.
A ghost story is amazing.
Yeah,
It's
it's
an
really
amazing
good. It
film.
has Casey Affleck in it. And so it's basically about a man. It's about a married couple, and Casey Affleck's character dies, and he basically comes back to their home to console his, his widowed wife. But she can't see him. And it's basically him as like a ghost the whole time. Like he literally has like a sheet.
Yeah, the way they
him.
portray the ghost is how they portray it in Beetlejuice.
Right.
But it's not played for laughs.
Yeah, no.
Story.
It's a super
an
depressing
A24 film too.
Yeah.
It's got an amazing cast in it. Rooney Mara's in it.
It's
a slow burn. It's a very slow burn.
Yeah,
if you can get on board for it, like it's very rewarding by the time you get to the end of it.
It's super depressing, like I said. But
I've got it written down.
You probably can't read that.
But that's my number 10, guys.
All right.
Awesome. What about you, Ken?
Is it my turn? I'm gonna go with good old Hellraiser, Frank and Julia. That's a love story, right? It's a very messed up, sick, and twisted love story, but it's absolutely a love story. Yeah. And I mean, it carries through. It's got the arc between the two films, so you could say Hellraiser 1 and 2. Kind of where she screws him and turns on him, and halfway through that and kind of becomes the big bad of those two movies. I'm just a huge Hellraiser fan, and no matter how sick and twisted the romance is, I've just always been super fascinated by it and just kind of enchanted by both of those first two movies. Whatever you want to say about the rest of the films, which you can't really say much. Those first two movies I consider to be masterpieces.
I'm honestly a huge fan of the first four. I like all. Number 2 is probably my favorite. I think number 2 is fantastic. Yeah. But
to be fair, I haven't seen 3 and 4 in such a long time. But I know that like 5 through 9 are dog shit. I don't think I've watched any of the other ones.
At least 3 and 4 are watchable, and you can be entertained watching them.
Yeah,
and Doug Bradley's still Pinhead, unlike the last one I seen. The last one I seen, Doug Bradley wasn't even in it anymore, and it was super depressing.
But yeah, I think they're both, particularly Julie. I mean, she performed expertly, and I mean, I just think it's a very well told story just across the board, and I think a big part of that is that love story at the center of it.
Absolutely. See, and I'm going kind of in your vein. I'm going with a dark love story, and it's me and Ashley's Halloween costume of next year, and that would be Daniel Robitaille and Helen Lyle of Candyman. Look at everything Daniel Robitaille has done to be back with Helen, even though it's not the Helen that he loved, but it's still her. It's always been you, Helen. And one of the most depressing and sad parts of any movie ever is at the end, when they're burning the pile and Daniel Robitaille's Candyman is in there screaming and begging Helen, come back to me. Like, he's made it so far just to get her back, and now she's leaving him again. And yes, it's Candyman, but he has such a deep and real love for this woman, and he's watching her go away again. So number 10 for me would be Candyman.
Okay.
So before we get into number 9, let's catch up on the chat. I would recommend Spring as well if people haven't seen it. I have not seen it.
Spring.
So I will also be writing this one down.
Yeah, I think that's
so much to watch.
Always.
Yeah.
Ken is punching the air right now. Yes, because she's always trying to cheat and look at my list.
Are you serious?
No, it's me. That's what she said. It's only reminded me of me. Spring is great. Nathan says 10 is Scream. Very good. Ghost Story is awesome. Would RoboCop be considered a horror? It's very graphic, but would it be a horror love story? To me, horror is what you make it.
Yeah.
It may not have the classification of horror. I've always considered RoboCop a horror. What about the guy who gets dropped in the acid and he's all fish-like running? Like, come on, man, that's total horror. So I say yes, it is. Was watching Hellraiser today. Can't go wrong with that. Shaim's Obsessed, Zombieland, Seed of Chucky, Jennifer's Body, Bride of Chucky, and Jeepers Creepers. Ooh, very nice. The Lost Boys, baby, Michael and Star. And Christy did love her dad. Dracula in general. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Hello.
Last non-topic question. Will the Batman be better than Batman Begins? I think
yes.
Robert Pattinson will be better, but Batman Begins had Scarecrow.
But will it be better than Batman 1989? No, it will not. No. Can't beat that. Can't beat Prince, Jack Nicholson.
I was just going to say, one of the best, she's talking about this a lot. One of the best scenes to me in cinema history is when they're listening to Prince at the museum and they're spray painting over everything. That's one of the best scenes I've ever seen in any movie ever. So
that's the only reason I like movies is that scene. Like I can pinpoint my love of film all the way back to Batman 1989.
Yes. I think it'll be up there, but Begins is special. See, I'm not a Christian Bale fan. So
it's interesting you say Begins and not The Dark Knight, because most people would say The Dark Knight's the standard for Batman movies.
See, I think that Robert Pattinson's going to kill it, and I'm so excited to watch him play Batman. Like, I'm so excited to see him.
I mean, this Batman's going to be like a horror movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it looks. Looks like a
and
thriller.
We're very excited for this one.
The trailer looks awesome for sure.
So, Michelle, would you like to start us off with number 9? And hold on, real quick before you do.
Yeah.
Daniel, keep asking questions, bud. That's why we're here. We love it when you guys ask us questions.
Yeah.
You want our opinion on something? I don't care if it's on topic or not. We're on your time too, man. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Sorry, Michelle, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Give me a little bit extra time here. So also when I'm looking at my list, I'm thinking, these aren't necessarily like relationships that I that I aspire to have or anything.
Oh, sure.
But anyway, okay, I'm gonna say my number 9 is Gerald's Game.
Ooh.
You mean that you don't want me to handcuff you to a bed and
then die on top of you?
Right. Oh my gosh. Horrific, right?
Mark that off the list.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. A couple, don't they go to I think they go, it's not in their home. I think
it's some kind of getaway retreat.
A getaway,
cabin.
Yeah. And I don't think, isn't he kind of an asshole? I think they don't have. I just remember
they don't
him.
have the best relationship.
You might. Well, I can't remember.
I just remember him yelling at her, getting pissed about something.
We just watched the movie Till Death with Megan Fox, and it has a very similar setup.
Does.
And he is trying to.
Yeah, but I feel like this one, he still got pissed, and that's kind of what made his heart attack happen or whatever. But anyway, you know how the story goes. He handcuffs her, has a heart attack. He's dead. She's fucked. Literally, both ways. No.
That's right. Figuratively and literally.
Right. And man, like I said, definitely don't want that to happen to me. But it's got the love in it. And I just can't imagine being handcuffed to a bed and being secluded and not being able to get any help.
Yeah, she has to deal with both the death of her husband and the fact that she's stuck to a bed.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. It would be
And then when the dog starts coming in there and eating him alive, or not eating him alive, but eating him when he's dead.
Oh. I'll be honest with you, though. We've been married for 17 years with 3 kids. If someone wants to handcuff me to a bed for a couple of days so I can get some sleep, I'd be fine with it.
Right. I know, right? Yeah, for sure.
Same here. The one thing about that movie, though, too, that was really creepy is what was he called? Like the Moon Man or something, but he was in the corner and he had the glowing eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember that part.
Super creepy. It was kind of random and out of nowhere, but he just kept popping up in the corner. And then you think it's her having visions, and then the end you find out he was really there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's creepy.
Yeah, love it.
Good Mike Flanagan movie.
Anything Stephen King is pretty gold, and I believe Flanagan did Gerald's Game.
Yeah, Mike Flanagan did it.
Yeah.
It was one of his first. I think it was his first movie did for Netflix.
It's gotta be good,
yeah,
right?
It's amazing.
Right.
So, you want to give us your number 9, Ken?
Number 9 for me. This one's kind of a weird choice, but it made sense in my head. But Get Out, Rose and Chris, and it's more of a one-sided love, but it's also kind of heartbreaking, especially when you get to the end of it. And even while he's looking through all the pictures of her past boyfriends, and it's kind of he's coming to the realization of what's actually going on, that she's in on it too.
Yeah.
And then he's going down the stairs and he's asking her to get the keys out of her purse. And he's just so desperate for her. He's hanging on to the chance that she might be good and she might help him. And then she's just like, I can't give you the keys.
Yeah.
And it's when that moment hits, it's it just flips everything. I just love that moment. So it doesn't turn out to be the best relationship, but it's it's a love story that definitely has resonated with me, and a movie that
Yeah.
I love. It's like one of my top 5 horror movies of this decade.
100%. Then that's all we asked for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, a little farther back. You're so cool, Brewster. I'm gonna go with Charlie and Amy from Fright Night. You know, the heartbreak that he feels knowing that he's gonna lose her when he's following her around the club. You want to talk about scenes that really impacted me as a child? That's another one. When you can see him constantly coming up and coming back, and Amy's just hypnotized by his gaze and following him around the club and dancing with him, and he ends up getting her, and watching Charlie, you know, heartbroken, trying to get Amy back. And that's one that had to be on this list pretty early when we were making the list. I knew this was going to be on here. So number 9 for me is Charlie and Amy from Fright Night. What about you, my love?
Have you seen that? No.
That's a blind spot for me. That came up the other night too, I think, when I was streaming with
Not
AJ.
not real horror fans.
Right. Cancel.
Came out the year I was born too.
You guys got to check it out.
It's good.
It's such a great movie.
I've heard the remake's good
introduced it
too.
to her recently, so
Gotcha.
definitely check it
All
out.
right.
I think you
Good to
guys will
know.
love it.
I've heard the remake's also good with
Yeah, but I
Colin
watched
Farrell
it
and
a long time ago.
Anton Yelchin, I think's in it.
We were not huge fans, but it's not bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What about 2? Is the second Fright Night good?
I love the second one.
I've never seen.
I
the
think it's
one.
great, and they're in the talks of doing Fright Night Resurrection, and Tom Holland's actually coming back to write and direct this one too, and he's trying to bring
Not
back
Spider-Man.
I know.
Tom Holland directed Child's Play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the original Fright Night. So yeah, it'd be really cool to see him back too.
Mhm.
Your number 9?
My number 9 is Happy Death Day.
Nice.
Yeah. So once Tree gets over herself and realizes that he's trying to just help her out and that he's a really good guy, she actually falls in love with him and gets feelings for him. And yeah, they're a good couple, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like after, you know, she's kind of like involved with the doctor and all that first, and
Yeah.
she's not really a great person until.
But even when you go to Happy Death Day 2, you know, like she realized that how much she loves him.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
absolutely.
So I can fuck with that. It's a good choice. Good one.
Thanks.
I loved, well, I think we both could agree with this. I loved the first Happy Death Day. Did not really love the second one. I was so
Yeah.
disappointed because I was so excited when I heard they were making another one. And I don't know, it was just something about it I didn't love as much.
That's a really good horror film, PG-13 horror film.
Yeah.
That like actually feels
Yeah.
like it has some teeth to it also.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I don't know, something about the second one they ditched the horror, it felt like, and they just went for like sci-fi
Mhm.
Yeah.
stuff.
The time travel.
I
and-
can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, I'm with you guys. I love the first one. I like the second one. I still
Yeah.
had fun with it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
it was enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will catch up with the chat now. Michelle, you sicko.
I know, right?
What did I say? Oh, talking about the
Put your
Gerald's
handcuffs
game.
away.
Put your handcuffs away. Love Gerald's game. Got my Duke girl Carla too. Jennifer's Body. Nathan's number 9 is The Fly. We may be talking about that again soon. Maya says the chat isn't working on my computer for some reason, so I'm watching it there and chatting on my phone. As long as we
Alright.
still got you with us, Maya.
Yeah.
Moonlight Man. That's what his name was.
Yeah, I knew
Basic-
something like that.
Yeah. Basic Instinct is 100% a slasher film. 100% a slasher film. See, and right here, what you were talking about, Ken, Mika, Rose
the
Keys.
keys. I know it's such Daniel Kaluuya like that's some great acting right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
very
It's like-
powerful.
He's hanging on to that one thread of hope
Yeah.
Yeah.
that it's different this
It's
time.
like he knows
Mhm.
that she's a villain shitbag person, but he's just like, come on, no.
Mhm.
Yeah. Get Out, man, we forget the genius of that movie. The original Candyman one for me, I didn't make a list for this one. Yeah, that was on my list. I totally agree. Fright Night is a masterpiece.
Mhm.
Fright Night be so cool for Shell and Ken to watch. I told you that. Man, we just gotta have a watch.
Maybe
party.
we can put it on
Watch
the
together.
13 Days of Horror this year.
Please. And you gotta text me after. Let me know what you think.
I introduced
Right.
her to a lot of horror films this past October.
Yep.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
She really hated
His House
Suspiria.
on Netflix. Did we watch His House?
His house.
I heard that was really good. I never got a chance to watch it though.
I don't think
I
we
don't
did.
know if we've seen that one yet. Friday Night 2 is great camp. Yes, it is. The remake of Friday Night was good. Love me some Woody, Mickey, and Mallory Knox. I have to hop on to Sweet and Spooky's Twitch stream. Hey, tell her we said hi. We love her. Sorry I'm late to the party. Hey, better late than never, man. So now we are up to our number 8, and that would be Ken 2 starting us off. You want to start us off at number 8, Ken?
Yeah, this is one that's been important to me for a long time, because it's the first horror franchise I ever watched as a kid, and that's Nightmare on Elm Street. And I'm going with Dan and Alice's relationship from 4 and 5.
Yep.
I thought it was a pretty sweet relationship that carried, again, another final girl that wasn't alone. The guy made it with her through the one movie and then didn't make it through the first part of the 5th one. But I thought his death was actually, I remember being pretty heartbreaking when I was a kid, and actually thought it was pretty sad. So the way he died in the movie, and her reaction, just that relationship just felt pure, just nice and pure.
When you just found out she's pregnant.
Yeah, she's pregnant, and then that's I mean, say what you want about Dream Child, it's not the best Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but that moment in that movie, I think, is probably the strongest part about it. And I've just always been a huge Lisa Wilcox and Alice fan. She's been like my favorite final girl since I was a kid. It's just, I love Dream Master. I used to watch that movie on repeats. I watched the first one maybe like once or twice when I was a kid, but it was always like Dream Master, Dream Warriors. I'd watch those over and over again. So that relationship's always stuck with me. So that's my number 8.
That's very fair. And I agree with you. I absolutely love Alice. I love Lisa Wilcox. She's an amazing woman. Mm-hmm. We're lucky to call her a friend too. And I can't agree with you more. In my Nightmare on Elm Street rankings, I've always said the original is the best. The Dream Master is my favorite. I've said that my whole life. It's Kincaid and Joey finally show up, albeit for a little bit of time.
That's another sad thing about that movie. Yeah, I always hated that as a kid because they made it through the 3rd one, and then they take them out right in the beginning.
Yeah. So my number 8 has been talked about already, but it is Seth and Veronica, The Fly. Not only is this, a love story wrapped up in a horror movie, but this has one of the most depressing endings of a movie of all time. And I'm talking about the 86 Fly, not the 58. I love the 58 one as well, but for the love story here, I'm really going with the one with my sexy dude, Jeff Goldblum. No matter how disgusting the movie is, the love between those two is so real, and you feel the heartbreak when she has to put him down at the end. So number 8 for me would be The Fly.
I just watched the 58 one for the first time last year. It's such a different movie. Like, it's so like different the way they tell that story. It's not like non-linear. They go back in time and everything.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Helen, Be My Victim.
Yes.
Candyman. It's kind of a tragic love story. Honestly, he loves a white woman, and it, in those times it wasn't allowed. Mm-hmm. So he was murdered because of it. And it's really sad, honestly, that you couldn't love who you loved.
Right.
Like I said, that I really feel like that's one of the most heartbreaking scenes ever.
Yeah.
When he's screaming for her in the pile. Come back to me. Mm-hmm. Like, and obviously Tony Todd is just a fucking god among men.
Yeah, Tony Todd's amazing.
I'd have been like, okay, here I am.
But yeah, it's definitely a tragic love story for sure.
Yeah. Michelle, you want to give us yours?
Okay, so keep looking at my list over there. Yeah.
I can't even make sense of that mess over there.
Excuse you. See what I dealt with? Okay. So I'm going with Warm Bodies.
Oh.
Okay.
Like I said, these aren't like, I maybe didn't necessarily.
Such a Nicholas Hoult fan.
I am. I do like him. Do you know who he is? Nicholas Hoult.
The actor in the movie?
The actor, yeah.
Yeah.
We watch a show, it's called The Great. It's on Hulu. He's in that. I really like him in that. But anyway, so Warm Bodies, it's about like a young couple. It's one of those, kind of apocalyptic zombie movies. Mm-hmm. And from what I remember, the girl is not a zombie. But she meets him the Nicholas Hoult guy, and it's like he's a zombie, but he's still. Why are you smiling?
I'm just reading the chat. It's not you.
Okay. Like he's a zombie, but it's like he still has like human emotion.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So anyway, it's kind of just like a sweet little romance, and they try to like, just make it through this new world together. So
yeah, that's definitely a fun movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie.
I think I'd like to revisit that because I remember not liking it so much, but I was kind of like a cynical fuck teen at that time.
We were pretty young when we watched it.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Yeah, I
things
think it
where
came out in like
zombies don't
2010
feel
or something.
love.
So it's about 12 years old.
Right.
So yeah, I was probably just some cynical little punk bitch. So I'm gonna have to go back and recheck that one. Okay, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Maya, I'd have to say The Conjuring, third one specifically because of Ed and Lorraine. Okay, maybe that'll be on here.
Could be.
Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis in Beetlejuice.
Oh, absolutely.
Good choice. I feel like the third one focuses more on the love they have for each other out of the three films. So if I had to put, that's fair. One of my picks would be Jesse and Freddie or Jesse and Grady from Elm Street 2. Very nice, Muhammad. Lisa Wilcox is in Cool Duder's new film. Lisa Wilcox.
I did see that
coming out. It's so awesome.
Cool.
Sorority Row. So I can't talk tonight. Sorority Row remake. Andy and Cassidy slasher film.
It was kind of a tongue twister there.
Yeah. Yes for the Fly. Sarah and Kyle in Terminator 1. Oh, what
I didn't even think of that.
Great pick. Neither did I.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, you put that in the slasher genre because it's a slasher film. Terminator, 100% a slasher. I'm a fucking idiot for not picking that movie.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Maya, my number one, It Chapter 2, Richie and Eddie's relationship. That film was so special, and I've hardly been devastated by the death of a character. Hey, what's up, buddy? Strange Monkey's here.
Hello.
Ken, don't be hating on Shell. Is that why you were laughing?
Yeah.
And it hits close home for me in the LGBTQ community. We do know Maya, and it's awesome that you have horror's always been ahead of the curve on that stuff.
Yeah.
Giving us LGBTQ storylines to look up to. So that's really cool that you have that one that you were able to. The chat is rad. That's Bill. For anybody that doesn't know Bill, he's a huge contributor to this channel. Not only does he make every thumbnail, make every intro, he came up with the name Sledgehammer Horror. Like, this is my best friend. Yeah, this channel would not exist were it not for this man. So thank you, Bill, for stopping out.
Awesome.
Ripley and Hicks. Yeah, what could have been. Oh, God damn it, Bill. Hey, Thomas. What's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. Please don't delete me. Twilight. I'll cancel you, but I won't delete you. Morticia and Gomez in the Addams Family. Very good choice.
Yeah, really
didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
that might be the best choice.
Definitely counts. Thank you for reminding me that Warm Bodies exist. See, I got to go back and rewatch this too. Yay, Bill. I say that all the time. So now we are up to number 7, and that is me starting that one. And I'm going to go with a little bit of a weird one here, and I am going to go with John and Jill Kramer from the Saw franchise. Everything that John Kramer is because of his love for Jill and the loss of his child. And
he's had a shit ton of like losses though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of motives. But I think that you can genuinely feel the true love that he feels for Jill. And so
I think it's two-sided. I think she loves
him.
Oh
yeah, she absolutely loves him.
Even after he's dead, she does all these things that he asks.
Right.
Now they go through that whole storyline in part 4, right? Was it in 4 that they go? Yeah, that I really like that one. That's one of my favorite Saw movies. I'm not a huge Saw fan, but I like the first one and that one and probably the new one.
Yeah, see, I really like 3 is my favorite. I know everybody hates on slow ass motherfucking Jeff, but Jeff moves a lot faster than I would had somebody killed my son. So
this is true.
I'm gonna just throw that out there. So my number 7 would be John and Jill from Saw. What about you, my love?
Number 7 for me is Bride of Chucky. So their relationship is pretty fucked up, but they are killer dolls. So I mean, what do you expect?
Makes sense.
So, but I really did enjoy that they gave Chucky like a love story.
Yeah.
I love Jennifer Tilly, so I really enjoy that movie a lot. Yeah.
Good choice.
Thanks.
What about you, Michelle? Do you want us to call you Michelle, Shell?
Yeah, I go by Michelle.
Okay.
Shell Bell.
Yep. But you can call me whatever you want. I'm good with anything.
Just don't call
not
you
anything.
Supper, right?
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna go with a movie called Honeymoon.
Okay.
And I might need your help. What is the girl's name? She's from Game of Thrones.
Rose Leslie,
okay.
I think's her name, but she's on Game of Thrones. She's Ingrid.
She was like Jon Snow's love interest. I don't know if you guys were a fan of Game of Thrones or not, but
no.
But anyway, it's basically this newlywed couple. They go to this like cabin, this secluded cabin for their honeymoon, and the girl, she has like sleepwalking problems, and so anyway, she goes into the woods one night and she comes back different. You know how they always come back different.
They come back different from the
I'm just impressed you remember the movie because I know we watched it and I can't remember a thing about
well,
it.
I had to do a little researching, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We watched
you
it
guys
probably
watch-
like 8 years ago.
Did you guys watch Mr. Mercedes?
No, that's what was that on? Was it on cable or something?
Well, I'm just wondering
Yeah.
if, because it's saying that Harry Treadaway was in this movie and he was in Mr. Mercedes. That's how I
he's
know him.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's
So
probably
Murder-
the husband then, because
Yeah.
it's only 2 people in this movie. I think.
Right.
It's
Okay.
Yeah.
it's one of those isolation films like Gerald's
Yeah.
Game.
A honeymooning bride goes sleepwalking into the woods. Yeah, so it looks like this is it. I would love to check this out because I love Harry Treadaway. That guy's amazing.
You'd probably really dig it. It's
I'm
a
writing
very
it down.
atmospheric horror movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Good thing we have the weekend off together.
Yep.
So yeah, I won't give too much away, but it's a pretty cool movie. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay. What about you, Ken?
My number 7 is it's been mentioned twice, I believe already, but it's Candyman, Helen and Candyman. It's funny. When I was a kid, I didn't even pick up on the romance stuff until I rewatched it a few years ago. I just watched it as a horror movie. You know, Candyman came out through the mirror and killed everybody.
Right.
I never even picked up on his backstory. I never picked up on
Right.
how that related to his relationship with Helen and stuff like that. He was just stalking her. So it was cool rewatching it because I think I went like something like 10 years before I watched it again. And I think I rewatched it maybe 4 or 5 years ago and just kind of seen it in a whole new light as being something more than just a regular standard slasher because of that added element of that love story. So, and then for everything that you all said too, it's very impactful and it definitely elevates that movie beyond like the typical slasher horror franchise. Cause I consider Candyman in the same league as like The Exorcist or The Shining. Like it's up there in that, and it plays in that arena. And it's because of that added element of that relationship.
I completely agree. I think it's totally fair to say that it's up there.
Yeah.
So before we get into number 6, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Not a horror movie, but Nick and Amy Dunn and Gone Girl. Yeah, that is definitely a sad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Bill, always. Nathan says, yes, sir, Ken, say number 7, John and Jill Kramer. Yes. What could have been Laurie Strode and Ben Tramer? Good pick, John and Jill.
Ben
That's a good one.
Tramer.
I was trying to think what love story was in that franchise. Oh yeah, there definitely is. Yeah, I wrote this down, guys. Everybody's talking about adding honeymoon to the list. I got it written down. Well, you better find a way to get back on the
Bringing
chat.
so many recommendations.
I know.
Right.
I'm glad I can contribute something.
Yes.
Makes me
Harry
feel good about
Treadaway
myself.
is a super cutie. Young Frankenstein or Frankenstein would be in my top 3. Very nice. Hey, Rev, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for joining us.
What's up, bro?
Hey, Rev.
So, Ashley, you will be starting us off with number 6.
Okay, so you had already mentioned this one, but the love story in it, I think, is pretty good. It is After Midnight.
Wow, you had that high.
Because
I had it lower than you. Wow.
Because I think that their love is genuine, and when she leaves, he's just broken.
Yeah.
And it's kind of slow, the movie itself, until like the last 5 minutes. But when she comes back, he you can tell she loves him too,
Yeah.
and she wants to be with him, but she's torn because she wants a different life.
She doesn't want to be in a small town doing nothing anymore.
She wants to make something of herself, but she wants him to go with her, but he doesn't want to. And it's complicated for them, but you can tell that their love is super genuine, and they both really love each other.
It's very real.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Thanks.
You want to give us yours, Michelle?
I love how you guys high five every time. It's awesome. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gosh, that was
What
fast.
is it? Is that your number 7?
6.
Oh, okay, 6. So you're starting this one off.
Okay. So
Better be another recommendation.
okay, so
Better
this
blow our minds with this one.
I'm not, but okay, so this one is Life After Beth. It is another zombie.
Yep.
Another zombie movie.
Another A24 movie too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I couldn't remember that. Okay, so yeah, another one of those like young couple love stories. Guy and girl date. You know, the zombie apocalypse, I think, is breaking out, and his girlfriend turns into a zombie. And you know, it's kind of one of those slow changes. You know, she comes back kind of weird, but like, you know, she's not trying to kill him or anything. But anyway, so it's one of those things where he's trying to like take care of her because he still loves her and everything. But then slowly, you know, she gets worse and worse where she's wanting to eat people and all of that stuff. So
Very
Anyway.
good.
Nice.
Yeah. pretty fun
Awesome.
movie.
You take care of me.
I don't remember. I did not.
And
like
it's
that movie.
got what's her name? Aubrey
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 Plaza.
Aubrey
It's kind of like
Plaza.
the reverse.
Plaza.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I like
you all
her.
have seen My Boyfriend's Back, but I remember watching that as a kid. So
Yes.
it's kind of the reverse of that one.
Yeah.
That's a perfect movie, by the way.
Yeah, that's an amazing.
I love.
I have
Boyfriend.
not seen it in so long. It's probably been
have
since
the
I was a kid, so I'd have to
VHS tape of
rewatch
it.
it.
I still have the VHS downstairs.
That's fine.
I would have figured that would have been like a prime release for like Scream or Shout Factory. I don't know why they haven't put that out yet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's such a great movie. You want to give us your number 6, Ken?
Yeah, my number 6 is David and Nurse Alice from American Werewolf in London. Yeah, I love this movie and I love their relationship. I love how it progresses from her being just kind of like his caretaker and how they fall in love. And then he goes through the whole transformation. And then in the end is kind of heartbreaking because of what happens to him. And yeah, I think I really love this relationship. I love, I forget the actress name, Jenny Agutter. Is that her name? But she's the mom in Child's Play too. And yeah, another like really pure horror relationship that went horribly wrong because, you know, it just so happened she met him in a time where he was going through a transformation into a werewolf. So very bad timing for their developing relationship. But I thought it was a very strong part of the movie. And I love American Werewolf in London. It's one of my favorites of all time. So
I know that's on your list somewhere. I know
it may be on there.
yeah.
But I'll tell you where it's not. It's not at my number 6 because that would
like
be
1 or 2.
Shaun and Liz from Shaun of the Dead is my number 6.
Yeah.
And you're right.
I need to watch Shaun of the Dead again. It's been such a long time.
We talk about this movie all the time because this is one of the horror movies that makes me cry every time we watch it. It's a beautiful love story. It's a drama. It's a horror. It's a comedy. The thing that pisses me off is the people that look at this movie as, oh, it's a parody movie of Dawn of the Dead. No. Watch the movie. It's its own unique movie. It's got horror elements to it. It's not like a spoof movie, anything like that. It's a genuine, real, classic movie. I love it so much. And Shaun genuinely loves Liz. He risks his life for her numerous times. And he just realizes he's got to get his shit together or he's going to lose her. And this has made him realize that. And he pulls out all the stops.
Apocalypse to realize
what she meant to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely got to go Shaun and Liz from Shaun of the Dead.
Have you all seen the Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright's new movie?
No.
It wasn't for me. I didn't love it.
See, I've heard mixed things. We're gonna watch it. We're waiting. It's out on physical media now, isn't it?
Yeah, you could probably get it at the Red Box or VOD or whatever.
Yeah.
Because we were gonna go see it in cinema, but our local theater wasn't showing it. So
I think I got a digital code. If you want it, I can send it to you.
Please, I'd love to check it out.
I'll send you the digital code.
Awesome. So before we get to our top 5, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Carly and Wade and House of Wax. I think, is that the remake?
I don't know.
I don't think that's.
I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
Michael Murray.
Yeah, with Chad Michael Murray in it and Paris
Yeah.
Hilton. Yeah, I liked that remake. I didn't think it was
I did
bad.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shape of Water. Yeah, it's horror. I mean, that's a total. To me, that's just a modernized version of The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a monster movie, so yeah.
Yeah, The
I'll
Creature
put it in
is
that
always
category.
my favorite of the Universals. So hell yeah, it's a horror movie. Good choice, Michelle. Michelle's always got the good choices. Buffy
You knew,
and
right?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Kino has a nice release for My Boyfriend's Back. Well, I'm gonna have to look into
Thank
that
you,
one.
Lapke. I did not know that. I'll look for it
Neither
in the
did I,
next
and
sale.
That sounds awesome. Maybe this is a time to upgrade from the VHS finally.
Yeah.
Good pick, Ken, with Werewolves. Odd Thomas, Disturbia, Night of the Comet. Ooh, Night of the Comet. I didn't even think about that one. Nurse Alex and David from American Werewolf in London. Odd Thomas. Deadly Friend, Swanson's character, and the guy that wanted to save her.
And the
Julian Ray from What You
BB.
Did Last Summer. I didn't put them on here
yeah.
either.
Even though she thinks he's a killer.
Yeah. Cat people.
Meow.
So now we are up to the top 5, and this will be Michelle starting us off with number 5.
All right. So I'm going to go Ready or Not. Again, one of those love stories that I would not want to have.
Right.
But I mean, you know how it goes if you've seen it. It's got the newlywed couple. You know, she finds out. I guess they get married at like his parents' big estate or whatever, and she finds out that she has to play hide and seek with her in-laws. You know, kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then she, quickly realizes that if they find her, they're going to kill her. And, I think she thinks that it's kind of a joke, but it's not. And so anyway, as far as the love story goes, like her husband, I remember him, like he knew about it, right?
But he didn't want her to die.
Yeah, but he didn't want her to die.
She would draw a different card.
Yeah. Because, the drawing. So there was a chance that she wouldn't even have to do it.
Yep.
But yeah, so anyway, but didn't he end up turning bad or?
I don't know if it was him or the
No, but
brother.
he ends up
I think the
dying
brother
in
tried
the
to
movie.
save her, and then he ended up turning against her, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but the ending of that movie is so crazy.
Yeah.
If you remember it.
How could you not?
Yeah, I don't. But anyway, I just remember being like, okay, it's over. But then that happened, and I'm like, whoa, okay.
That was the best poker face to this day that I've ever played, because I'd seen the movie before when I showed it to her, and you know how it is when you're watching a movie that you've already seen, but your significant other hasn't. And they're kind of trying to, well, what happens? What happens? Yeah, trying to figure it out the whole time. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. You have to wait.
Yeah, that is a little side note. Like if he's watched something that I haven't seen yet, I'm always like trying to guess what's going to happen, and I'm like, is this what happens? Is this what happens? And he's just like, I don't know.
Oh my gosh! I tell her, I'm like, Ashley,
Just watch it.
Watch the movie.
I want to know.
All right.
See, I'd be the guy in the closet, like, can we play Uno?
Right.
No, please.
Like, talk about not liking your in-laws.
Yeah.
So the rules of that universe are so weird. It's like you can either pick go fish or be murdered. Like, why?
Right.
Do you have any threes? So Ken, you want to give us your number 5?
My number 5 is a pretty iconic one, and we just saw the end of it in the new Scream movie, but it's Gale and Dewey. And it's definitely the longest.
Spoiler alert.
That doesn't have to mean anything.
We
It just
said
means they
the
break
end
up
of it.
like literally
Okay.
every
All right,
movie.
all right.
But it's an iconic, and it's probably the longest running relationship in a horror franchise.
You think?
I would think.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But yeah, I love their relationship ever since the first one. I love both of those characters. I know you're not a huge fan of Dewey.
He's goofy, but
I love how they're on
hate
again,
him,
off again, and it's like you come back for the sequel, and it's like, are they going to be together? Are they not going to be together? And then they kind of make you, even going back and rewatching them when we did, I forgot if they were together at the beginning of whatever movie we were watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice love story. It's an unlikely love.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't expect those two together, and I think sometimes those are the ones that work the best. So yeah, Gail and Dewey.
Opposites attract. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So my number 5, Bride of Chucky, Chucky and Tiffany. I think that even though it's kind of a one-sided love story, it's more Tiffany. I think Tiffany's love for Charles Lee Ray is more powerful than his love for her. I think he's always just kind of like, she's been the one that was there that he could use. I always felt like that was the type of thing. I don't think he ever loved her the way that she loved him, but I couldn't not put this on the list because I'm such a huge fan of the Child's Play franchise. I'm such a huge fan of them including Jennifer Tilly, Tiffany into the story. So I had to put this one up here, and it impacted so much that, the family that slays together stays together. So I had to put them on the list. So coming in at number 5 for me would be Chucky and Tiffany from Bride of Chucky. What about you, my love?
Number 5 for me is from It. Ben and Bev.
Ooh, okay.
His January Embers.
January Embers.
Even though she doesn't know when they're younger that it was actually him that wrote the poem, when they get older. And
My
she
heart
does
burns
find
there
out,
too.
He realizes,
Yep.
Well, I think she's always loved him, even if it was just like as a friend. But their love is, at the end.
I'll say she did not love Fat Boy Ben.
She might not have, but she ripped Ben for sure. So.
All right. So before we get into our number 4, let's catch up on the chat real quick. What about Child's Play 2019? The love Chucky has for Andy. So true. So true. And I can't speak too much on this because in March, our episode of Versus on Child's Play versus Child's Play 2019 will be up. So I can't get too much into that right now, but that's a big talking point to that episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Audition is a love story I wouldn't want. I can agree with that. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Nathan's on there with 5 Bride of Chucky. Santa Clarita Diet with Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that show.
We did too.
Mad
so
when they
bummed when
stopped
it got
making
canceled.
it.
Yeah, that show was so fun.
Ended on the worst
I
cliffhanger.
know. We didn't get any closure.
Yeah.
And,
Did we?
And what's the guy's name? Her husband?
Timothy.
Josh?
I loved him in that show.
Yeah.
He's
His just his sarcasm and stuff was just so fun to watch.
Him and the kid. The kid was so good. How awkward he was. He played that awkward kid so well. My wife says that Leprechaun is more frightening than Chucky. See, I've never been a huge Leprechaun guy. The first one's okay. The second one is I think the one where they go to Vegas is probably my favorite.
I think maybe his look is,
probably scarier.
Leprechaun was frightening in the first 30 minutes of the first one, and then it becomes unfrightening. He immediately goes full camp and goofy, and at least Chucky is scary for the first 3 movies.
Yeah,
I agree. But like I said, and I feel bad because I want to like Leprechaun. As a kid, I really liked Leprechaun. I thought Leprechaun was great when I was a kid. But then I watched it we bought the whole box set.
Mm-hmm.
And we're watching these movies, and I'm like, what the fuck did I see in these movies? The acting's atrocious. The only saving grace to it is Leprechaun's sense of humor. That's the only good saving grace to it. So even though part 1 did have the guy that played in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Mm.
Part 1's got Jennifer Aniston. Her first ever acting role, I think. I thought she did a pretty good job in that movie.
You can tell.
I'm a little nostalgic for it. I literally watched Leprechaun probably 100 times when I was a kid. But
It's funny.
I've seen the sequels maybe once.
See, the third one I think is my favorite.
I remember the third one because it was Vegas, so it was a unique setting. I don't remember the third one or the second one at all, and I know the fourth one was in space. And then the In the Hood stuff I skipped out on, I think.
The only thing I remember from the space one is Leprechaun getting really big and blowing up and seeing his middle finger fly through space. That's all I remember. The Horde and the Girl for Split. That's a really good one. That's a really good one, Cal. Harriet and Stewart, So I Married an Axe Murderer. Oh, that's a good one too. Santa Clarita Diet, we all loved it. Love Leprechaun, but Chucky over everything, yes.
Yep.
Leprechaun in Space can't be matched better than Jason X.
That's a hot take.
It's also one of my favorite movie posters. Hell yeah. Sam Winchester and Jess, If You Know, You Know. don't think I do. Frighteners is a great Michael J. Fox film. Leprechaun in Vegas and The Hood is awesome. A Quiet Place would be on my list. Yeah, that's the big thing about that is it's real.
Yeah.
You know, you can feel the real, genuine love between the two.
Mm-hmm.
King Kong's another really good one. Not quite a horror movie, but legend. And then Von Dat Fui. Honestly, Leprechaun Back to the Hood has the best third act out of all of them, surprisingly. I mean, I don't hate the movies. I just never I can't get into them.
Yeah.
So we are up to number 4, and that will be Ken 2 starting us off.
All right, number 4 is another kind of one-sided relationship, and it's Paul Sheldon and Annie Wilkes from Misery. She definitely loved him a lot.
A lot.
Almost enough to kill him. But we rewatched this movie last year, and I didn't forget how great Kathy Bates was, but it's like when you rewatch it, it's like, damn, she was good in that movie. Good enough to win an Oscar for the horror genre. Like, how often does that happen? It doesn't. So she's great in that movie and psychotic. And yeah, like I said, it's a one-sided love for sure, but it's a love story. I count it.
Love
and
nonetheless.
It's such a great movie. Yeah, it's such a great movie. And what's the guy's name? Who plays Paul Sheldon? I forget his name. I forget names all the time.
Talking about the elf dad?
Yeah, the elf dad.
Don't ask me.
He's in The Godfather, too.
He's always the bad guy from Bulletproof. You know that movie with Adam Sandler and David Wayans? Like,
somebody will call it out in the chat, but I cannot think of his name. But yeah, such a good movie. Again, it's not a traditional romance love story, but
James Caan.
Yeah, James Caan. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's in love with him, and yeah, it's a great movie.
You could have said the old couple in it. They're a better love story.
Yeah, the old couple is yeah, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
You're kind of right. The old couple, that was a really sweet love
They're
story.
like my favorite part of the
also
movie.
heartbreaking because he gets killed. She shoots him in the chest, and you never get any closure there. You don't ever get to find out. You know, I mean, not that we really wanted to see her find out that her husband died.
Yeah, they weren't the story, but anyway.
It was
So my number 4. Been talked about already, but damn, do I love their love, and that's David and Nurse Alex from American Werewolf in London.
I knew it was on your list.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised it's so low on your list.
I know.
Honestly,
here's the thing: the top 4 for me are
like interchangeable.
Yeah, for sure. So this one just made it number 4 out of default. But like I said, these next 4 are all very strong love stories to me, and I mean, she's there with him when he's going through this transformation and he doesn't know what's going on with himself. And earlier I talked about how The Fly has one of the saddest horror movie endings except for one. This is the other one. You know, you think that her love is strong enough to stop the werewolf, and he's looking at her, and then he leaps. You know, I'm not going to give away the ending for anybody that hasn't seen it, but damn, man. Like, what a great movie. What a great ending. This is as close to a perfect movie, I think, as you can get. I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing movie with a depressing ending. I absolutely love American Werewolf in London. So, you want to give us your number 4, my love?
Yeah, my number 4 is Fright Night. So Charlie, he literally.
I love the high fives. Love it.
He literally fights a vampire for her. And saves her from becoming a vampire. And they, even though they're teenagers, you can tell that they really do love each other.
We were teenagers.
We absolutely were teenagers at one point.
So.
And what did they tell you? They told you that it wouldn't last, right?
Yep.
Absolutely, they did.
Yep.
We've been together for 17 years with 3 children. So.
Right.
So to that I say.
Exactly.
Crotch
Exactly.
You want to give us yours, Michelle?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, I love Edward Scissorhands.
I'm not a fan.
Okay, so be honest though, when we rewatched it,
I love Alan
you liked
Arkin
it
in that movie.
more than you thought you did.
But yeah,
That's
I'm honestly not. I don't really love Johnny Depp.
I don't either. I don't either.
And I never have.
You hate
Since
him?
I was a kid, I haven't. It has
I don't
nothing
like
to do
him
with
either. I don't
anything
either.
going on with him now. I
Like
just
him as
never
Willy
liked him that much.
Wonka.
No.
His
Uh,
best two roles to me is Crybaby and Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are my two favorite Johnny Depp roles.
I got to go with Secret Window.
Yeah.
Why'd you put
It's
the
been
hat
such
on?
a long time since I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
He can literally play
Yeah,
any
I
role.
think he's a great actor.
And,
he's
he's
not.
not the same person.
No.
And I don't love him, but I don't
Yeah.
hate him.
I think he's one of the best actors of all time.
And
And I'm not being facetious. I'm being serious. I think Johnny Depp is one of the best actors of all time, but
And
he just doesn't do the roles that work for me.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah.
do the roles that hit me. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the pirate one.
yeah,
What
like
is that?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates-
well, there's Johnny Depp, I guess, like pre-Pirates of the Caribbean and then post. It's like he's a
Yes.
completely different person.
Yeah.
And him and Tim Burton ruined. They both.
Yeah.
They ruined my childhood with that shitty Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. I love him in Edward Scissorhands. I think he does amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
And you've got him, and I think her name is Kim in the movie, the blonde girl.
Yep.
The
She ends up basically falling in love with him, even though he's different.
Like a monster.
Yeah. They deal with the whole bullying thing. Like they've got the mean kids who are like, you're a freak and that kind of stuff. And, she sticks up for him and stuff. But yeah. So Edward Scissorhands is good. Leave it alone.
Great choice.
Yeah, very good choice. So, before we get to number 3, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Leprechaun is awesome, but Chucky all the way.
Absolutely.
Mulder and Scully in the X-Files. What a great choice.
Mhm.
That is such a great choice. Lionel and Paquita in Dead Alive. Silence of the Lambs is an honorable mention. I sense the sexual tension between Hannibal and Clarice. Hello, Clarice. What did that guy throw on your face, Clarice? Casey and Delilah in The Faculty. Gosh, we have that movie.
I thought of that one, but I didn't like the way she treated him through most of the movie.
Yeah. Adam and Dorothy from Valentine 2001. Thor the dog from Bad Moon. He loved and defends his family like no other. Underrated 90s werewolf movie. I've never seen that one. I'm going to have to check that out. Love the X-Files. I think we all do. Us would be a good one too. Adelaide and Gabe's relationship is so pure and underappreciated, even if she's not who she says she is. Very good one.
Mhm.
Great one with Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands is a great choice. Ed Wood for Johnny Depp. Nana and Pop in The Visit. Would you climb in the oven and clean it for me? True Blood, awesome love story. The Johnny Depp disrespect is not allowed in my life. It will not be tolerated. I'm sorry. Like I said, I think he's a good actor. He's just not for me. The roles he gets are not the roles that I enjoy. Yeah. So number 3, I'll start this one. And I lied earlier when I said After Midnight was the newest, because this movie is from 2021, and this is Owen and Beth in the Night House. I can't get into too much because this movie's it's fairly new and I don't want to spoil anything, but his love for this woman is so damn strong. It's to kill for. So that's all I'm going to say on this movie. But my number 3, because it's such a new film, I don't want to give too much away for people that have not seen it. I'm going to go with Owen and Beth from the Night House. What about you, my love?
So I will also go with the Night House, Owen and Beth. That's my number 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like you said, he would do anything for her. Clearly he did in this movie. And like you, I won't get too much into it, but even her, when she thinks the worst of him, wants him back. So like wants him alive again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I'll say. That their love for each other is very strong.
Good job.
Thanks.
What about you, Michelle?
Well, you're going to love this, but I've got the Night House.
Hey.
Virtual 5.
High five. Woohoo. Yeah. So when we went and saw this movie in the theater, we did get to go see it in the theater. And I just loved this movie. It was, it's pretty dark and depressing. It's pretty heavy. But I don't know. It's really good. And like you all said, it kind of takes you through this like up and down, like, you don't know if you should be mad at the guy or if you like, there's a part of you that like somehow understands why he did what he did. Like, it's all very confusing and messed up, but I don't know. It was a great movie. So
I think you can only understand it if you've been in love.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You love someone when you're happy. You love someone when you hate them. You love someone all the time. So I completely get where he was coming from. So very, very good choice. Obviously, we agree on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ken?
My number 3 is also The Night House. No,
Shut
I'm
up.
just joking.
I
I'm
knew
just
you.
joking. It's not The Night House. I did like The Night House, but it didn't make my
Come
list.
on.
Bastard.
I was like, no.
So the
You just had to ruin it.
Ed and Lorraine Warren from The Conjuring is definitely one of my favorites. And I did say Gale and Dewey's probably the longest running, but didn't they have 4 movies together? I think. Was it 5?
I don't know.
If you count Annabelle Comes Home, which, I wouldn't.
Those,
but
then they've had 4, I think. You have The Conjuring 1 and 2, Annabelle Comes Home, and then The Conjuring 3.
But they're just, just such a classic traditional couple. They have a very good relationship amidst all of this spiritual chaos. Ed would do anything for his wife to help her and protect her, and she would do the same for him. And you just really feel that in those movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're such strong films. The first 2 Conjuring movies, I absolutely love. They're some of the best modern horror films, probably in like at least my top 20 horror films of all time, I would say. But I love both those movies almost equally. The third one is where it kind of brought it down. It could have been like number 2, maybe, if it wasn't for the third one. But the third one as a movie, I don't like, but I do think their relationship still maintains its strength in that movie. So I'll still get them that. So, but yeah, I love Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're greats, played beautifully by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. So just great performances, and that really elevate those movies. So, yep,
100%.
Great choice.
So let's get to the chat real quick. I would go Roswell for TV shows. I've never seen that one. Blow and What's Eating Gilbert Grape are 2 of my favorite Johnny Depp movies. I like Blow. Didn't love it.
Have you seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I have. Too sad.
Okay. It is sad.
That movie. It is very sad, but
Leonardo DiCaprio kills it in that movie.
Oh my God, doesn't he?
You want to talk about an amazing actor? Leo DiCaprio is fucking a god.
Yeah,
he is.
What Keeps Us Alive? The Night House was very good, very heavy story, visually stunning. This is me canceling Ken for being a son of a bitch and getting my hopes up. Big John and Little John from Halloween Kills. The Night House was amazing. I love it.
Oh,
God. Dude, Big and Little John are phenomenal, man.
They are. They really are.
Honorable mention.
Best part of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Evan and Rick and the Mummy. Karen and Jerry in World War Z. Stan Winchester and Jess is Supernatural. I've never watched Supernatural. I'm so sorry. Benny.
You didn't watch all 85 seasons of Supernatural?
Yeah. So we are at our silver medal now. You want to start us off, love? Number 2?
Yes. So number 2 for me is the Fear Street trilogy. I really love how the 2 main characters are both women. They're lesbians, and they're actually like trying to save this town. Like, it doesn't happen a lot in horror movies. And I really think that their love is very strong, and
it was a perfect LGBTQ representation.
It absolutely was. I feel like that was really great for the community, and I think they did a phenomenal job.
Great choice.
Yeah, thank you.
Choice.
Yeah, we enjoyed those too.
Yeah. What about you at number 2, Michelle?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Return of the Living Dead 3.
Okay.
Damn. You're going to get a pop from the horror crowd for that one.
So when we did our 13 Days of Horror, one of our movies was Return of the Living Dead.
Yes, the first one. We had never seen it.
Yeah.
Either of us.
I told him, I've only ever seen Return of the Living Dead 3 when I was like a kid. And he told me that apparently it's like a thing that one sucks or something. And I'm like, I loved it, and it used to scare the crap out of me. And anyway, so yeah, I mean, if you've seen it, you know that it's about like a couple. They have a motorcycle accident. The girl, dies, and the boy is like desperate to save her, and his dad just happens to work at a army plant.
Yeah.
So he takes her and gives her the zombie the zombie virus. And so anyway, it just
Do they break open a warhead the same as they do in the first one?
no. It's like kind of more of a chamber type thing, I think, from what I can remember. But yeah, I don't know.
Great choice.
Yeah. I like that one.
What about you, Ken?
We're at number 2, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Number 2. Okay. Well, some people would say that a boy's best friend and his first love is his mother. So I have to go Norma and Norman Bates from Psycho.
A boy's best friend.
It's a very powerful relationship.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Very powerful relationship. Yeah, I love Psycho, and I just think that it's a super powerful movie, especially when you get to that end and that reveal. It's a horror movie I've been watching since I was like 10, and yeah, I know his mom's not actually alive, but she was at one point, and you get to see that relationship, I think, fleshed out a little bit better in the 4th Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a messed up relationship, and also the TV show, if you want to count that, but that's a very different thing.
Yeah, very different inclusion of the story.
But yeah, I think that's a good relationship,
and it's a different love.
It's a different type of love.
Yeah, it's
I
good
get
to
some
include
parental
those.
love on the list tonight.
So, great job. So for my number 2, here's a little hint for you. Wise men say.
Oh, The Conjuring.
We are going with Ed and Lorraine from The Conjuring.
All right.
I love
the Kens love The
too.
Conjuring.
Yes, and I love when you get to that part in that one where Ed shows the real human side of him, to where he will do anything for this family. And one of my favorite love scenes of all time of any movie is just the way that Vera Farmiga is looking at Ed when he's singing to this family, and they are all singing Elvis Presley's "Can't Help Falling in Love with You" together. You just have them all like so infatuated with each other, singing like this family is whole again. And you have Lorraine just staring at Ed with the most love in her eyes, and she's so infatuated with that man. And I had to put that at number 2. Ed and Lorraine are so absolutely phenomenal. So that's my number 2, Ed and Lorraine from the Conjuring franchise.
Awesome.
What about you, my love?
I just did.
Oh, you started us.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will catch up on the chat real quick. Lisa and Jesse from Elm Street 2. I'm gonna watch it eventually, I promise. Big John wants me to dance spooky. Yes, dude, for real. I love that. Jack and Sally from A Nightmare Before Christmas. Frank Zito and all his mannequins. Oh, Maniac, that's a good one. I'm an idiot for not saying that one. Return of the Living Dead 3. Tusk. Yeah, the girl is mad. Justin Long's character kind of sucks, but in the end, she continues to visit him and bring him fish. From what I've heard, we're going to be getting a Tusk 2. So
really?
I'm excited to see how that goes.
Is Kevin Smith directing it?
Yes, he is.
He was supposed to do like a trilogy, like an unofficial trilogy with those movies. And it was supposed to be about something else, the third one, but he never did it.
Yeah, and that's what bums me out because I love Tusk and Ashley did not.
Yes, I liked it too. I did too. It was so bizarre.
It was a weird movie.
Yeah, it was definitely weird.
I mean, it was horrifying when you
I
saw
was
him
with
as
it
a
until the last 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again. I have it. I found it at a Goodwill not too long ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, Mel. I was actually going to do more of the song, but apparently when I set my guitar down, I bumped it and it's out of tune. And it really bummed me out when I hit that first note. So I was like, oh, I can't continue to do this. Like, it made me sad to hear it. So Conjuring is too high. I'm sorry, Nathan. I love the way they look at each other. Even in the third one, when he's running after her and he's on that cane and she's at the edge of that cliff and he's just staring at her and he's like, Lorraine, and he's got the tears coming down his eyes because he's so scared for her. Like, those two pull off that true love feeling so well with each other, even just by the looks they have with each other. It's so great.
I mean, if you're talking about what's the purest horror relationship, like no BS. It has to be those two.
Yeah.
I think my
Probably one of
number
them.
one beats them, but we'll find out what that is in a minute.
Yeah.
Ed and Lorraine definitely were ride and die for each other. Ed and Lorraine. I'm interested to see our pal Video Creep did a video on that. That's where I heard it from. Video Creep did it. Said that there was going to be a Tusk too. My buddy Video Creep did a video on it. For the panel, why is horror your favorite genre? I will say the reason horror is my favorite genre. I grew up in a video store, as a lot of you know, and I always gravitated to horror because it's so unique to me in the fact that you can have a horror movie that is horror, but a complete love story. You can have a horror movie that's total horror, but a science fiction story. You can have a horror that's a total horror and a Western. Like horror, you can't put a label on it. And the fact that horror is so inclusive and everybody that loves the genre, we don't care if you're gay, straight, black, white, Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter. The minute you talk Freddy Krueger, I'm going to look at you and go, welcome to primetime, bitch. And we're just going to have this conversation like it's on at this point. And when it comes to horror movies themselves, since Night of the Living Dead 68, I mean, we could go even before that, but it's been talking about social issues and social injustices and inclusion since before it was cool to do that. I mean, horror to me represents not just being scared or being scary, but genuine love and respect. And I just, and the community, like, you know, doing this YouTube thing, like, no, are we by any means huge people in this? No, we're not. But I've met and made amazing lifelong friends because of what we're doing right now. And, you know, like Daniel, you're here every week hanging out with us. Like, this means so much to my family.
Oh, yeah.
You know, having you guys come along, and Ken and Michelle, having you guys take time from your day to come and hang out with us and talk about horror movies. That's why this is all so special to me, because of all of you, and the love that I have for it has just grown exponentially since I started talking to people about what their first horror movie was. So that to me is why I love horror so much. You want to add on to that, my love?
All of that. But it's just like
He covered it pretty good, didn't he? Times 3, times 4.
Yeah. It's like an addiction. Like it's like a drug that you keep wanting. Like I like the feeling, the anxiety feeling, and the feeling of being scared and stuff like that. Like I like that feeling, and yeah.
I agree. What about you guys?
Would you say horror is your favorite
So
genre?
I'm going to be a downer, and I'm going to say that horror is not my
But if
favorite
it wasn't
genre.
horror, what would it be?
But I do enjoy horror very much. We talk about horror a lot on our channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I do enjoy the anticipation, the what's gonna happen. It's just fun, and it's fun to be scared. I'd rather be scared watching a movie than someone jumping out at me in real life. I hate that.
Who would do that?
She does it to me.
I do
quite often. I'll be in there filming a video, and I'll come out and I won't know she's standing right there, and she doesn't.
I know, that's terrible, isn't it? For
All the
someone
time.
who doesn't want to be scared. But anyway,
awesome.
I get so mad when he does it to me.
does.
I'll be screaming. I'll be like, oh, I hate him. I'm like, why did you do that?
I'm
right.
getting too old for that.
But why do you love horror, Ken? I know it's probably your favorite genre, right?
It is my favorite genre. Ever since I was a kid. I mean, I've been watching horror movies since I was probably 8.
Right.
I don't know. There's just something about it. It just feels so cool and dangerous. It gives
Cool
you
and
that
dangerous.
thrill. It made me feel cool in a time in my life when I absolutely was not cool, on any level, social level at all.
I can't imagine a time ever where you weren't cool.
No, there was.
There was.
And I don't know. It just, like you all said, it feels like such a communal experience. Like if you get it, if you're in it, you can just talk about it with anybody and they know what you're talking about. And I just remember having a bunch of parties when I was a kid where all my friends and us would get together and pop in horror VHS tapes and just do all night marathons, just like those experiences. I'll never be able to get back, or I wouldn't trade for anything. And it's just
Right.
you don't get that same feeling in every other genre. I love action adventure movies, superhero movies, the occasional romantic comedy. I've been really getting into Westerns here recently. But you just don't get that same sense of fellowship, I guess, in some of those other genres. And
Yeah.
I think that, horror has stood the test of time. I think it's one of the only genres that's been around since pretty much the beginning of film and has transitioned and evolved to the point it is now. And it's just one of those genres that's never going away. It's never going out of style like the Western did, or the superhero film probably eventually will. People won't think those are cool eventually. So when everything else falls, horror will still be standing. Because it gives its audience something that nothing else does. Thrills and scares and chills and all that good stuff.
And you talk about being communal. You get horror con. You don't get rom-com con.
No.
Yeah.
Like that's how much it means to us. So I completely agree with it. Thank you, Daniel, because it was able for us to give us, that wasn't Sledgehammer Horror Ken Sledge. That was Ken Sledge the Third from Hudson, Michigan talking right there. So thank you for giving us that opportunity. I heard Kevin Smith is doing a Jaws moose movie and Tusk shows up to fight the killer moose. That would be the most epic fucking thing ever.
I heard something like that. Like it wasn't going to be like a Tusk. It was going to be like another like creature that he made or something.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Put me in, coach. I want to play.
Just don't bring the Yoga Hosers was so god awful. I don't know I apologize if you liked it, but don't leave the bratwurst creatures out of it.
I think Patrick Wilson's great in everything. I think he's great in Insidious too. Like I love him to death.
I'm really looking forward to Moonfall.
Yes.
Are you joking?
Patrick Wilson.
You don't like Patrick Wilson?
No, I love Patrick Wilson, but he's in that new like Roland Emmerich movie, Moonfall. It looks batshit awful.
It looks insane. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, and it helped us meet you, Maya, which we appreciate. Thank you. Michelle and Ken are way cooler than us. Joe, any girl who chooses LOL in your TV series, My Killer Podcast. Thank you too. All right, guys. So we are at our number one now. I don't know, Michelle, because you kind of didn't have a list, but if you could, when we do our list here, we're going to go from our honorable mention all the way up to number one. If you can remember the order you had them. If
God.
Just give us
I don't know if that's going to work because I deleted it as I said it.
Oh.
Okay. We'll just give us your number one and then we'll do ours from there. But Michelle, you are starting us off with number one.
Okay.
You deleted your number one?
No, I didn't. But anyway. Okay. So my number one is one of my favorite movies ever. And it's Beetlejuice. I love Beetlejuice. I'm going to say his name one more time.
I purposefully left that off my list.
Yeah, he knew I was probably going to pick it.
That would probably be like my number two or something.
Yeah, so I love Beetlejuice. It's just, I don't know. I could watch, like, I'm not the type of person who rewatches movies, really. I'm kind of like a one and done. And, there's a handful of movies that I will rewatch. Beetlejuice is one of them. You've got Adam and Barbara. I feel like their love is evident in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you didn't say what love in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Are you going with Beetlejuice and Lydia?
I know I could do Beetlejuice and Lydia. Yeah, that's true. But I'm going with Adam and Barbara, and I don't know. I just think the whole cast in that movie is fantastic. It's just, I don't know. Hopefully, you guys like Beetlejuice too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're another real nice fucking.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I've seen
Michael Keaton is just.
I love Michael Keaton.
It gets funnier every time I watch it.
Oh yeah,
Michael Keaton is just fucking amazing.
He is.
Yeah,
he's only in that movie for like 15 minutes, maybe of total screen time, but like he just owns the entire movie. It's like that's what you remember.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Like nobody else.
Him and Catherine O'Hara, I think, both own the movie. She's spectacular in the movie.
Yes.
The whole dinner table scene is one of the most widely known horror scenes of all time. Mm-hmm. He's in there,
Yeah. Love it. Yeah,
Great
love
choice.
it.
Yeah,
Great choice, Michelle.
Thank you.
What about you, Ken? You want to give us your honorable mentions all the way up to number one?
Yeah, my two honorable mentions were The Fly, Seth Brundle and Veronica, and then you got Friday the 13th Part 2, Ginny and Paul. My number 10 was Hellraiser, Frank and Julia. My number 9 was Get Out, Rose and Chris. My number 8 was Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. Alice and Dan. And my number 7 was Candyman, Helen and Candyman. Number 6, American Werewolf, David and Nurse Alice. Number 5, Scream, Gail and Dewey. Number 4, Misery, Paul Sheldon and Annie Wilkes. Number 3, The Conjuring, Ed and Lorraine. And number 2 was Psycho, Norma and Norman Bates. And my number 1, you should know what it is. We talked about it on the very first time I was on this channel. It's Bev and Ben from It's 1990. I have to specify 1990. I love those kid actors, and I love John Ritter and Annette O'Toole in those roles as well. As good actors as Jessica Chastain, and I don't even know the actor that played Ben in the new one. That's how unmemorable he was. But I just love their relationship. I love how it developed. And, you know, I mentioned it earlier, like just personally watching that movie at a very young age, like I was an overweight kind of chunky kid. So to kind of watch him pine over this girl was very relatable, over a girl that he couldn't get until later on in his life when he, you know, lost the weight and all that stuff. And it was very relatable to me. And it's just a nice, sweet love story that I love where it ends up. And then you have the whole love triangle with Bill thrown in there as well. So, yeah, I love Bev and Ben. That's my number 1.
Great choice. So my list, honorable mention, Hank and Abby, After Midnight. Number 10, Daniel Robitaille and Helen Lyle, Candyman. 9, Charlie and Amy from Fright Night. Number 8, Seth and Veronica from The Fly. 7, John and Jill Kramer from Saw. 6, Shaun and Liz, Shaun of the Dead. 5, Chucky and Tiffany, Child's Play. 4, David and Alex, American Werewolf in London. 3, Owen and Beth, The Night House. 2, Ed and Lorraine Warren, The Conjuring. Number 1, Ken and Ashley Sledge of Sledgehammer Horror. No, I mean, that is the best, but
right.
My real number 1.
I should have picked that.
My real number 1, look at her. I would die for her. I would kill for her. Either way, what bliss. Gomez and Morticia Addams, the Addams Family. Holy
That's one I didn't even think of.
Somebody said it earlier.
We just watched it not too long ago.
Yeah.
What an
awesome,
amazing love story that is. Like I said, to the love, to the death, to the pain. My fucking God, I love the Addams Family movie. I love Gomez. I think that a lot of men of horror are also very romantic. And I think that is something that, because horror and love, horror and romance are so tightly knit with those emotions that you feel. Every time you fall in love, you're terrified. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that as a negative towards you. I'm always terrified you're going to realize how much better than me you are and leave one day. So, you know, and Gomez is the perfect man of horror to me for how much he would kill and love everybody in the world, or kill everybody for this woman to show her how much he loves her. So yeah, for me, number 1 easily had to be Ken and Ash. I mean, Gomez and Morticia. Again, the Addams Family. You can say it's not horror all you want, but we need more mamushka.
Yes,
agree, Brian. So yes, number 1 for me, the Addams Family. You want to give us your list, my love?
Yes. All right. So my honorable mentions were Shaun of the Dead and Vacancy. 10, I had Zombieland. 9 is Happy Death Day. 8, Candyman. 7, Bride of Chucky. 6, After Midnight. 5, It. 4, Fright Night. 3, The Night House. 2, the Fear Street trilogy. And number 1 for me is The Conjuring, Ed and Lorraine. So I, like everyone else said that chose this, their love is very strong. And for people that are married or in a relationship, you already know how stressful it can be. Imagine having to do that and like, you know, like ward off evil spirits and shit.
Right.
Like, that has to be high stress, and they deal with that so well. So, I mean, I couldn't imagine having to do with that on top of everything else that life throws at you. So,
right.
And they kill it.
Yeah. And I think, like we said earlier, Patrick Wilson and Vera, for me, her, they were perfectly cast in the role.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, they were great.
Before we let everybody go, we do want to catch up on the chat real quick. Like I said, we are at the end of the episode here. If you have any questions you'd like to ask for any of us, We're going to go through the chat real quick, then we're going to talk about what we have collectively coming up on the channels. So give us 1 second. Mika, horror is an amazing collective experience. I've had some of the best memories with friends enjoying the genre.
Absolutely.
I agree with you, and I've made so many friends doing this, and I love and appreciate every single one of you that are here. Gold medal time. My number one is Eric Draven and Shelley Webster from The Crow. That's such a good damn choice.
That is a good one.
I haven't seen The Crow in such a long time.
Yeah. Not a horror movie, but shout out to my favorite movie of all time, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris and Sloan are the perfect couple. I wrote a whole project about how they balance each other. I would argue that Ferris and Cameron's love is stronger. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. I love that shit. They are perfect. Number one for Nathan is Candyman. Beetlejuice is one of my favorite 4K transfers. I agree with you. I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off too, Maya. Good choice. Thank you so much. Yay! All the fruities. Born Mamushka. Yes to the Addams family. Gomez goes hard for Morticia and doesn't care who knows it. Am I saying her name right?
Morticia.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure. I feel like I'm not saying it right. It's great to see the love you both couples have for each other. Now get a room. LOL. Please don't delete me. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. We have 3 kids. This is the most alone time we've had in a while.
This is true.
All right.
Awesome number one pick, but Munsters. Oh, yeah. Good choice. Good choice. I love this. My number one is Leatherface and his chainsaw. He definitely knows how to use
Freddy and his gloves.
He does.
That's funny.
Pinhead and his pins. How did I not think of James and Sam in the Fear Street trilogy? I literally cried because I was so happy to see a lesbian rep in popular media.
Honestly, when I chose that, Maya, I thought of you. Like, I thought that you would like that choice.
Yeah. I missed your comment about Scream and I can't find it. I'm looking for it. I'm sorry, Maya. I did totally miss it. I don't know where it went. So like I said, we're going to open the chat up now for what, if you guys have any questions for us or Married with Media. While we're waiting, me too.
I love you too.
Tomorrow night at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time, we are going to have my good friend Kylie, Haunted Hippie, and Destiny Faulkner on here. We're going to be going live again tomorrow night, 2 nights in a row. I know, how crazy. We're going to be talking about Scream 2022, completely spoiler. So if you haven't seen it, I understand why you won't be joining us. And then we'll be re-ranking the Scream franchise. So I hope you guys can come out for that. And then coming up this week on Sledgehammer Horror, which Ashley will be updating you guys about on Sunday.
I will.
Yeah, I love that. It's one of my favorite segments on Sledgehammer Horror now, actually, is all the shorts you do.
That's so nice.
I like those too, by the way.
Thank you.
You do
Those
a
are,
great job.
it's a great idea. Like, I love it. It's awesome.
So Monday is Brad Greenquist, who was Victor in the original Pet Sematary.
Wow.
Wednesday is the Horror Dad, John and Jamie, another good friends of ours. And then Friday is Adam Marcus, who directed Jason Goes to Hell and had a big part in My Boyfriend's Back. So
my favorite Friday the 13th movie.
Yes, we talk a lot about Jason Goes to Hell. We talk a lot about My Boyfriend's Back, and we talk a lot about his first horror movie, which is the first time I've ever talked about it on this channel. So that's what we have this week on Sledgehammer Horror. And if you guys haven't already, if you're here for the first time, please click that subscribe button down here. If you haven't subscribed to Ken and Michelle, their links are down here in the description as well. So make sure you're following them. Can you guys talk to us a little bit about what you have coming up here in the next couple of weeks? Or
So you guys are a lot more organized than we are. But I know that we're probably going to have an Ozark review coming up. We're trying to binge through the new season. And let me tell you, there's some long episodes, so
we have to get around to watching Titan. And I would like to do a review for that when we
I mean, apparently she has sex with a car, so I'm very interested I'm very interested in this.
I'm intrigued.
Right.
And not only does she have sex with a car, she gets impregnated by a car.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's horror for you. So, and then we're also going to be getting a new Texas Chainsaw movie next month. So I'm sure we're going to be reviewing that.
Yeah, I'm going to make you watch all the Texas Chainsaw movies leading up to that, too.
How
I'm dropping that right now. Just like you watched all the Screams, you're going to watch all the Texas Chainsaws.
Yeah, I literally.
Because I feel like you've only seen the original and the remake. And you said the remake's your favorite horror movie of all time.
Well, okay. Listen, I am not great with picking.
That's canon now on the channel. That's your favorite horror movie. You said it the other day.
I know. But that I just had to pick one, and I'm not great at picking. Like, I'm not good at lists. I'm not good at like picking my favorites of anything. That's just really hard for me. But anyway, so I don't know. I'm optimistic about the movie. I think it might be good. You said the poster looked good.
The poster does look good.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic about it.
Yeah. But other than that,
I wish that Fede Alvarez was directing it. He's producing it, but
yeah.
Gotcha.
Hoping, fingers crossed. I don't know. I don't know how you all felt about the last 2 or 3, but I don't think they made a good Chainsaw movie since the remake in 2003.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a huge fan of Leatherface. I know nobody else likes that.
I didn't hate Leatherface. I actually thought it was pretty cool with the twist at the end, but
see, that's the only thing I didn't like.
Oh, okay.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The twist.
You had the
That might have been the only thing I
man.
did like.
Ken likes to be different.
Yeah.
Not me. I like to be the same.
Yeah, whatever.
Scream would also be on my list. It might not be canon, but Billy and Stu are the ultimate couple. The way Stu looks at Billy, don't even tell me they weren't in a homoerotic killing spree. Oh, they definitely were.
Yeah.
I think that was one-sided though. Billy didn't love it.
Cal, is this a Mrs. Doubtfire reference?
It's a drop. Yeah, we were going back and forth the other day about Mrs. Doubtfire because I was trying to tell him how Pierce Brosnan's actually a good guy in those movies.
Yeah.
I was like, it's Robin Williams that's giving him shit the whole time.
Yeah.
For dating his wife.
Right.
I was like, he threw fruit at the guy. Come on.
Pun intended. Oh, Ken, you're an idol. Hey, thank you so much. I think you're probably talking about that one, but I'm
thank you
for that. Great stream, everyone. I love the positivity and the love that these streams always bring. Thank you, Sledgehammer. Big shout out to Married with Media. We appreciate you so much for coming on and hanging out with us, guys. It means the world to us.
Yeah, he's always a faithful commenter on our videos, so we love him.
Absolutely, so do we. I'm a fan of Don't Breathe 2, and he produced that. We love Don't Breathe 2.
We did.
We still haven't seen it.
I bought the 4K. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Please, when you watch it, text me right after. Let me know what you think, please. Because
I love the
first
first
what they
one.
did with the old man in this movie. I'm not going to say much.
Yeah.
Because everybody that knows me in any way knows how I feel about sexual assault and rape. It's something that I can't fuck with. I'm not accepted. I can't do it. It makes me physically sick. And
they didn't
make him a hero. That's
they
all.
Didn't make him a hero.
All I'm gonna say.
Okay, yeah.
Great stream, guys. I don't even need to drop my video. We all have the same pace. You still gotta drop a video so we can watch it anyway, Mal.
Right.
Yeah. It'll be a different order, probably.
Left the Right one was really good. If I'm thinking of the right one, is that the vampire one with the kids? And it had
I think we saw that, didn't we?
Well, there's
Chloe Grace Moretz or whatever. Is that
I don't know which one's which, but there's the Spanish version and then there's the American version.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know which one's called what.
Destiny's here.
Hi.
This is Destiny. She's gonna be the one we're doing the Scream live with tomorrow. Thanks for stopping in, Destiny. It's awesome to have you here for a little bit. So if you guys have any questions for us, let us know. We would love to answer any other questions you have. But until then, like I said, you guys, Michelle and Ken, thank you so much for coming on and joining us tonight.
Yeah,
I've really had a great time hanging out with you guys, and we'd love to work together again anytime you guys want to. Just let us know. We'd love to do whatever you guys want to do. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else too, but I can't remember what else I was gonna say. I'm gonna plug Shudder again. Hey guys, you should get Shudder if you don't have it because it's awesome. They don't sponsor me or nothing. I'm just in love with it.
They should.
I agree.
We're gonna sign up right now.
Yeah, I should. I mean, I got a bunch of free
It's only
trials.
You said it's $4.99.
Yeah, $4.99 a month for Shudder. So
do they have like a schedule? Like, do they drop new movies? Like,
they put new movies out all the time.
Every Tuesday.
I get alerts about new movies all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And I'm telling you, like some of their docuseries, like they have Cursed Films is one, and they go
Z or whatever.
Z was on there.
Movie was creepy.
Yeah, Z is a really good movie that was on there. But right here, I real quick smash that like button. I agree because the YouTube algorithm is such a shady bitch, and she doesn't want to like us very much sometimes. So hit that like button to help us out.
Yes, like it.
But there's a lot on Shudder that is so good. The original material they have, like I said, they have the Creep Show TV show on there. All the docuseries they do, the serial killer stuff they do. It's just Shudder is my favorite. And if you guys get the chance next week, The Long Night is coming out on Shudder. I was so lucky to watch it last night, and I interviewed today the producer from that movie. His name's Damon, and that will be up next Thursday. So we'll talk about that movie a little bit on the channel. I should have said that, but it'll be up on Thursday. Sledgehammer interviews with him, and it has Scott Taylor Compton in it.
Well, you've done my job for me. I don't have to make one this
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You still have to. So I can't recommend that movie enough, guys. Sorry to put you on the spot, Michelle, right after you said you have trouble picking favorites.
Yeah, it stresses me out. I'm like, oh, it's like my mind goes blank or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Eli Roth's History of Horror is a personal fave. That's another good one. So yeah, I can't recommend Shudder.
I really was Host the Shudder original?
Yep.
Yeah, I love that movie. But
Okay,
I'm a sucker for the found footage stuff.
How long has Shudder been around? Has it been around?
A
At
couple
least
years.
5 or 6 years.
Okay. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I'm just thinking back. So like when we first started dating, we would always go to like Blockbuster or whatever video store.
They definitely haven't been back around since then.
Well, I'm trying to think. So do you remember, like back when you would rent movies, like that was our thing. Like every weekend we'd go and we'd do the I don't know, rent 3, get 1 free or something like that. We'd pick out our candy and whatever. But anyway, I feel like we went through this thing where we would rent these kind of like obscure horror movies.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who it was
called
that put them out.
What it was like the 8 films to die for or something. That was a series.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched a few of those back
I
in
would
the
go
day.
sit in his bedroom and we'd watch movies.
Yeah, that's how we seen Grave Encounters for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Was
I
because
remember
of one of
watching
those.
that.
Yeah.
one.
I forgot about that.
A few of those, and when we just grabbed stuff like Teeth, was another weird one I remember watching.
Yeah.
What was it called? Vangina Dentata.
Okay. This is I totally missed Maya's question to you guys. I don't know how that I missed that. What are your favorite horror and non-horror movies? Let's start with you, Ken. That way Michelle has the time to think about it. What's your favorite horror and non-horror movie, Ken?
My favorite horror movie is The Exorcist, and my favorite non-horror movie would be The Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
Star Wars.
You're still sticking with that.
Yeah, that's the most important movie to me. I love The Empire Strikes Back or Back to the Future, one of those two, or E.T. They're all in the top 3.
Gotcha.
What about you, Michelle?
Okay, so for favorite horror, I'm just gonna go with the Texas Chainsaw remake, 2003. I'm sure that there's probably something I like better, but that's what I'm going to go with for now.
Texas Chainsaw Remake is one of the only remakes that if you say it's better than the original, you don't always get a lot of shit for it.
Yeah.
You don't always get a lot of shit for it. There's a lot of people that really love that remake. But.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then for a non-horror movie, we talked about this before on one of our live streams. I think I decided that Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie.
It was when we met, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm just going to say collectively because I love all 3 of them for different reasons. So, yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
And right here, this is what it is. And Maya, we're so glad you've healed from COVID. You've been in our thoughts.
Yes.
So where's it at? After Dark series. That's what it is. The After Dark Horror Film Fest.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you, Mika. Thank you, Brian, because that was going to drive me freaking nuts all night. And Chiller was another good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, guys, I appreciate you all coming on. I can hear my little baby Kenley out there getting restless. So
Yep.
we appreciate everybody coming here.
Our daughter's been dancing in front of us for the past 45 minutes.
Yeah, our daughter, she's 7. She was running circles around the couch a second ago. I'm just like, nothing's happening over there.
Nothing to see here.
That's so awesome. You guys, we hope that you subscribe to their channel so you can check them out because I promise you're going to love their stuff. And we hope to see you tomorrow for our Scream spoiler discussion and re-ranking the Scream franchise. Ken and Michelle, don't go anywhere. We got a couple more questions for you guys. Okay. Everybody else, as always, keep talking horror.
Say what you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.